And
I was
cue the talent.
Oh, I guess we gotta
And
share,
here
don't
we
we?
are.
shoot. God.
What are you doing?
I need to get the land acknowledgement.
Awesome. We are currently live. I love the stack of chairs. It's Dada.
It is Dada.
All right, we are live.
5 and 10.
Okay. And did you want to get that bag, or did you? What did Rich Eric? Did you want to pick up Eva's stuff, or what was the plan?
Eric's not picking up.
Jacob's.
Jacob. Is that Jacob? Where is that stuff?
It's on the other side in a bag. Just turn right.
I think you need to get it, Justin.
Is this different for you, Chelsea, to see it this way?
It's really different.
Right? Hey, isn't it cool in a way, right? Like
It
it's
really is, yeah.
yeah. It is cool.
Okay.
You don't have the same energy, right?
No, not at all.
But it's very well contained regardless.
Are we starting?
Well, and there's certain things that I say to people as they leave. I'm like, oh, who's gonna tell them?
All
Who's gonna tell them to be safe and to be nice to their brains?
Welcome to the Rumble House. We're about to start the live feed, Sebastian. So come on up and join us.
Welcome to the 447th time we've gone together.
Did Jacob get his stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is our 7-year birthday here in this spot, and it is our 9.5-year birthday since we started in 2012. So this is a nice.
Also, it is the 8-year anniversary since Galen gave away the entire pot of money that we weren't, or just teasing. It is so exactly 9.5 years ago. Exactly 9.5 years ago, we opened up coincidentally on my birthday, which is why we know all this stuff. We were closed down exactly 8 years ago to tonight, and then we reopened exactly 7 years ago. So the entire Rumble House revolves around my birthday and my half birthday. But there's something else important I needed to say.
Turn down the bass.
Okay, Eric, go stand outside.
Control like that.
We have a guest door checker for vaccines, so that's stressful for Galen to have an extra job if everybody could kind of keep an eye out for him. Did it already get weird?
No.
And then there's a couple other things I wanted to tell you, and I can't remember what they are. Jess might have a migraine, so this might be a crazy night. She's interesting when she has a migraine.
Take one of those pills.
We need you to share the link to Rumble House, and a lot of people go, yeah, and they don't share, but it actually tells me how many people shared it.
My phone's back there.
And so when you go to your Facebook or Facebook and you click share, what happens is the people that buy the art find us. And since it's cold and because of COVID, right now the only thing keeping us alive is just the action of pushing your finger on the share button. So I don't want to sound like I'm manipulating you, but we need you to share the feed, and that's what's going to keep us open tonight. And then what else can I say? Jess is spinning the wheel. Did you do the land
I'm
acknowledgement?
gonna do it right
Okay.
now. All right, I'll start with the land acknowledgement. The Creator gifted us with this land that we are blessed to share and celebrate together. We acknowledge that the land we gather on, Mokinstis, is the ancestral territory of the Siksika Sitapi, the Siksika, Baianai, Pigani, and Amskapi Pigani. We acknowledge all the Treaty 7 signatories, including the Sutena people, as well as the Ayarhe Nakota nations, Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Wet'suwet'en. This land is also the home of Métis Nation Region 3 and all others who call this place home. So thank you so much for joining us. The first
Yeah!
Yay! Thanks, Eric. The first piece of inspiration, we were listening to the audiobook last weekend. Neil Gaiman reads his book. Gorgeous. Art matters. Life is sometimes hard. Things go wrong in life and in love and in business and in friendship and in health and in all the other ways that life can go wrong. And when things get tough, this is what you should do. Make good art. I'm serious. So that's our first piece of inspiration from Real Gaiman. Our second piece of inspiration comes to us from Andrea Gibson. Actually, this one goes a lot with that one. It's called Good Grief. Let your heart break so your spirit doesn't.
Simple and beautiful.
Short and sweet.
Then, so actually, it's funny that it landed on this. So we can remember, I landed on literary, which is Bell Hooks passed away today. We can maybe remember Bell Hooks in. I wonder if she's part of this. What did Jonah pick? Oh, nice. Here. So Sandra Cisneros. So I'll read. So it's the idea with her is the body, and I'll read. And people at home. Oh, I got a picture. I'll show you people at home the pictures. So joys of the body, sorrows of the body, and the senses. Born in a working-class Chicago neighborhood to a Mexican father and a Mexican-American mother, Sandra Cisneros navigates the richness and misogyny of both Mexican and American cultures. She vowed to never marry and to always have a house of her own. Her most famous book, The House on Mango Street, a coming-of-age novel of saturated, censored vignettes, is taught in elementary schools and colleges alike. Make sure to check out her poetry, which asserts a healthy sexuality, and her masterful short stories, too. So, The Body, our third piece of inspiration.
The body?
Yeah.
I know how to do that.
So that's it. We get pieces of inspiration. We'll make art from 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock. I'll be showing pieces and putting stuff up on the event page for Rumble 447. And then we'll have another live feed starting up at 9 for the auction. Thanks, everybody.
Yay!
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We can make these out. Yeah, that's perfect.
I feel like all the university kids are done school, so they're back. So what's happening in there?
I don't know.
I haven't seen
It's-
a lot of them since the summer.
You know, I never know who comes. I always
Sebastian?
hear that there's
Sure.
lots of people through the voices, but I don't always see
We're
everybody. right?
speculating why all the university students are back. Is it because the end of the semester?
Yes.
Oh, that
Have
makes
you
sense.
done your final
called it.
semester?
Chelsea called it. She's like, all the university students are back. They must be the semester break. And we're like, yes, that makes perfect sense. Yes.
That's it. That's why I couldn't come for the past little bit.
We love you.
Aw, I love you too.
Good.
Good.
I
That's
missed this.
Oh my God. Who's sticking their tongue out?
Bring the gold people in the other room.
Eric, like what the?
What the F?
All right. Where's
Don't
that
do that
camera?
either.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Can you pass me my
Can I turn
for a
that? Or
second? Yeah. No. I just thought it looked so nice. Can you get in front of it? No. It's impossible.
no, I can't. It's not impossible.
Oh, hold on.
Here,
Look
here.
at new.
Ooh,
Where's our home? Where are we going to be?
Oh my goodness.
That's
isn't that
really-
cool?
Comfortable.
So remember Mel V from last week? These
Yeah.
are some of her photos. So she brought some of her photography down. Nothing
Ah.
auction tonight. Okay.
Very cool.
They're really
I know,
good.
it's neat to see it, hey? I do know that in person, everything is so much more vibrant than on the feed. That's what I suspect.
Yeah, it's definitely different. Like, because when I'm at Rumba House, often I'll look at the piece and then I'll look at it at my phone just to see
Mhm.
and try
The
and
difference?
compare the difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, would you be interested?
There's just something happened on the feed where it goes more flat, right? Everything.
It's very
appears-
bright.
Yeah.
At least I watch the I'm watching off the platform versus the Rumble, because if I have Rumble on, I worry about it feeding back. So I don't turn Rumble on when I'm participating,
Right.
except on my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I need to look at something, but
That makes sense.
Okay.
Mel,
Maybe we could start with Mel's photos. So there are two sizes. This larger scale one, she'll be able to come. She's coming back after to talk more during the auction. So there's this larger scale, beautiful piece. She said that she asked Francis Wiley, they're going to an event tonight, which ones, and so he said, whichever ones you choose, but he really liked that one to put in, so she wanted to include that one.
who is that?
So I don't know who the model is, and Mel can talk more to that, but and I don't have the prices or anything, but I'm just going to there. So there's one black and white beautiful piece, beautiful color piece, and so Mel is a spoken word artist, and also a photographer and a dancer, and just really multidisciplinary. Theo's here. Do you want me to click him in, or you're good? In backstage. So yeah, it's neat to see all of the different artwork.
Good sizes too.
Yeah, they're beautiful. So,
Greetings, everyone.
hello. Okay, so
Theo, I'm all excited to give a piece of your art to a friend for Christmas.
Oh, good show.
I know it's all wrapped up and ready to go, and I'm really excited for her reaction and stuff when she opens it.
What one was it?
It was like a mandala, actually. It had a sun in the middle and all the little suns on the corners, and each of the little petals had a scenario in each of the petals. It's really neat.
It's a 15 by 20 inch board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you got that one. Beauty.
Yes. Yeah, and it's brown, and then you got your suns in it, all these little smiley suns.
okay.
Quizzies, I believe they're called. Yes. The
Ah,
smiley
Well,
suns.
at that time, they no longer, they were just suns. Quizzes
Oh.
didn't come about until I started doing my radio show.
Good to know.
so how did the name? So what does the name Quizzies mean? Do they look different than the
Quizzical
suns that are in
Sun.
that
It's a
picture?
short for Quizzical Sun.
Oh.
And my radio show was called the Quizzical Sun's Musical Review.
Hmm.
They were my co-hosts.
They were your co-hosts, the Suns?
Yes. I was telling a story the whole time that I was doing a radio program of music.
Is this like a CJSW kind of radio program, or?
It ran from 2015 to 2017. It was just too much for me doing curating the music that I was playing. It was a 3-hour show. So I had to fill a lot of music up in 3 hours.
A 3-hour show. A 3-hour show.
And you were broadcasting on what?
CJSW.
Yeah, CJSW. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a show on there too for a little bit, but that was early in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was called Dykes on Mics, and it was four lesbians talking about. You remember that?
Yes. Yep.
Yes. I was one of the Dykes on Mics. That was a concept I brought to the table, actually.
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's the great thing about CJSW.
Mm-hmm.
It gives a voice to all sorts of groups that otherwise don't have it. And that's the whole mandate of the station, actually, is to provide a voice for everyone.
Yeah, and we were also because we were kind of community, and a couple were students and a couple were from the community. Sometimes we would say things and do things that kind of put us a little bit in the doghouse, but but that was the fun part of it too. Is you had to be real. So, but we've had more than our fair share being in the station manager's office, being lectured at and stuff like that.
Not you, Michelle. I can't see you doing that. Oh,
Oh, we're a collective, so we're all together, right? All for one, one for all. So didn't matter who did it. We all had to stand by it.
That's awesome. Okay, another. There's actually nice, really lots of nice photography tonight. So Francis Wiley is just a wonderful friend of ours, and look, he wrapped it up nicely so the frame would keep safe, and he cut little peekaboo holes. So you can see how beautiful he did a job. He does all of his own custom framing,
Oh, wow.
and then look, also peekaboo doors. So this is a framed photograph called The Vision by Francis Wiley, and these ones are starting at $50.
And that's really on loan because he sells global.
Oh, what do you mean on loan?
But no, it's on loan in the sense that we're borrowing out of Francis's generosity.
Oh yeah, so
these are
he sells worldwide and like with the French Vogue and
so sometimes people come in because they want to make $25 and buy a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Sometimes people come in and donate a sports car that goes at the price of a pack of cigarettes.
You're telling us that's a sports car?
I'm telling you, it's a special piece that we really have a great privilege to be able to share.
Yeah.
But really, because he has such generosity, is the way I put that.
Is that 8x10 size, Jess? Or
Actually,
slightly larger?
The photo itself is 4x6, and the framing is
1.5 bananas.
hand. I miss my banana. It is finger to elbow and finger to halfway to elbow.
Okay.
What's the
not
safe
bad.
place to put my stick?
Under there, see. But the
well,
photo,
like your elbow to your wrist is a foot, right?
Yeah, I'm just wondering the size of it because it's deceivingly.
A lot of times, your actual
Hard to
foot
tell.
might be a foot.
Yeah, that's
That's
what I
why they
mean.
call it a foot.
Because your elbow to your wrist is the same size as your human foot,
oh,
and normally your foot is about a foot. Not quite if you're a lady.
So
but-
12 by 16 maybe or something.
oh yeah, maybe 12 by 16.
Yeah, 12 by
Yeah,
16.
about a ruler. Yeah,
Yeah, a ruler's about a foot.
yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
I'm on two
I know Imperial too. I know Imperial.
Everything will be fine. Okay, so
Beautiful. We will make sure this is a sports car, Chelsea.
I know.
We're gonna ride it a bit.
I'm a sucker for those.
Rev it up. We're gonna rev it up.
okay, sorry. I'm gonna try not to go so slow, but
It's okay. You have a lot of, what's always amazing to watch, Jess, when we're doing this prep time is all the things that you're dealing with at the same time.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling. You're talking about the artists, you're taking pictures, you're doing a write-up on the website, you're answering our questions.
Putting up with
You're
Rick.
no, that's a nice part. Okay, I appreciate that, Michelle.
You're paying attention to who comes in the door in case the
Yeah.
people you guys know that we don't
That's
know.
Totally.
I can't
There's
see.
a lot going on. There's a
Yeah.
lot going on.
I'm always amazed how the two of them do what they do.
Yeah.
Truly.
Okay.
And if you have a
we
migraine,
worked-
take a pill, Jess. Take one of those pills I
Yeah.
got some.
And we worked from 7 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock that last night at
Oh.
a completely different event.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Where were you at last night?
Rich's school put on such a beautiful event. So it was their Christmas concert. So the band was playing, and the band is just phenomenal. The conductor, the teacher, got the grade 12s to be conductor to when the grade 7s were playing. So the grade 12s were. It was just incredible. It was just like
Great.
really great. And then while the band was playing, Rich, there was like 10 kids ended up coming from grade 7 to 12, and they were painting live. it's like intimidating for adults. And these like 2 grade 7s came up. And
My 11 most nervous kids.
Like the shyest kids came, and they did such beautiful pieces. And then we auctioned the work.
That's awesome.
It was like so moving. I was sitting there just like tearing up. It was so like powerful because the kids were all taking care of each other. Rich was taking care of the live feed and then popping up and checking in that they were good, because they were sitting, like they were working in front of us, like the crowd too. And it was really nice. And then the drama production even took place after that. So they auctioned off the kids' work for tomato, like soup cans, like on spaghetti. And then so they got like 150 cans of the food bank. And then they went and they still watched the drama production in a different part of the school while we like tidied up the gym. It was like crazy. So we got
But there was a live feed of it to the where was it broadcast?
Onto the school YouTube channel. So so that was, it's like always something. It was like really just beautiful.
Awesome. Things that happen here can be applied everywhere.
It's so true. Well, yeah, that's how like lucky I feel like I feel like the school's so lucky because like Rich has all the equipment and he knows how to do this, and it's like, it's like really And then that they have him as a teacher.
And then the school board blocked my StreamYard through the firewall, so I had to learn it all from scratch.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
Jimmy rigged it okay, so you're a larger one.
You'll never stop me.
The last strand.
Yes, the last strand. And here there's a slightly different framing. And
Francis Wiley. Here goes.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh.
yeah,
That's so pretty.
it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, darling. Gorgeous.
It's magic. So that's a necklace? Or,
Here, can you? There.
right, strand, right.
Oh, that's super
Cool.
pretty. Who is this
Chelsea,
guy? How do I not know
Chelsea.
him?
I'm sure you do.
Wiley.
Francis. I'm sure you.
Let's all look him up right now.
Yeah.
Francis
Yep,
Wiley.
it's happening.
Look up European Vogue's Francis Wiley.
Yeah, European Vogue. He
Not the product dropped in.
look up. He did a piece, Blindness, and that one got like.
They made it into a movie.
They made it into a movie about appropriation of imagery because.
One of the most appropriated images.
Yeah.
Huh. Really fascinating.
He is part indigenous and is proud of his Cree ancestors on his
Ooh.
mother's side.
Neat. I like Indigenous Cree because that's the community I grew up around. Up in northern Alberta, all the Indigenous people were Cree.
Where in northern Alberta did you grow up?
I grew up in a place called St. Paul, which is not that far from where Rich grew up, which was Bonneville.
Well,
I'm further north than you guys.
Oh, wait, wait.
I
Where,
lived
what?
in Bonneville, but I actually started out in Edmonton.
How'd you end up in Bonneville?
I didn't ever actually live in Bonneville. My family's from Bonneville.
Oh, I see.
My dad's from St. Paul and Bonneville. My grandpa was almost mayor of Bonneville at one point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's a small world, because I knew Bridget Rondeau from Calgary, and then she grew up in Bonneville, and she knew Rich. So it's like this little small town reality.
Yes. I was
So
born
where
in Peace River
Oh my God, that's so high up.
and grew up in that area. Like we moved
I
a
taught
lot.
in
but
Slave Lake, so I know that.
we lived in high level for a while.
Yeah, high levels. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's far.
We
as
moved
well.
from I was really little, so I don't remember, but it was the fall, and we moved from Summerland, BC to high level for the
Oh,
winter.
no.
For the
no.
winter. Very upset.
Oh,
My mom
wow.
was not happy at all.
People don't realize what I mean. That truly is northern Alberta. That's very high up.
I came from Calgary from Coquitlam to Calgary, and I hadn't seen snow in a while. I remember getting off the plane. It was one of those nights when the snow devils are flying around on the ground.
Yeah.
It's so cold that the the snow wasn't quite freezing; it just turned to dust and then blowing around like little snakes. And I remember looking out the tarmac out the window when I arrived in Calgary, thinking, "What ungodly place is this?"
And then you stayed because it was so magical.
Oh, it was so cool. You could not leave. Look, I'm just going to stay on the photography train right now.
Right?
Wait,
Love
you're on
it.
a photography train?
Choo choo.
Click, 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 click.
So
I have a funny GoFundMe fundraiser. Am I bugging?
no.
I've never been on a train, like a passenger train. I think a lot of people haven't been on passenger trains, but it is my lifelong dream to travel across Canada. Maybe we should do
I love trains.
yeah.
Before COVID, I was looking up some of the prices though, and I was like,
Yeah, incredibly expensive.
something more than
Isn't that crazy? Because
Yeah.
when my sister and I went over to Europe, that was the affordable way to go, was by train, right? Like we went from Barcelona to all the way across the country to Portugal on a train because it was way cheaper than flying or anything else. So
yeah.
And other cultures too, like India, everyone piles on. But in
right,
Canada, I think it's just the size of the country. It's
I
sort
think
of
it's a
a
luxury
privilege
here,
to
too.
ride
Like,
the train.
It's very much a luxury to go on the train.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same for soccer. Everywhere else in the world, soccer is this game where you can buy a ball for 50 cents and play soccer.
Yeah.
But in Canada, it's $150 an hour for a field. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not as accessible here. That's for sure.
I was a kid and I remember being a train when little trains would come into small towns. I remember that my grandfather used to make sandwiches and go and sell them to the people on the train.
Aw.
Really,
That was a
we
long
had
time
trains,
ago.
but never passenger trains. Just grain trains.
That's great. Okay, sorry. This is by Wes Rath. So this is really beautiful, like winterscape, and it's not quite black and white. So I think we did sell a black and white version of this, but has really nice like subtle sepias and browns.
And very pretty.
Yeah, and then this is gorgeous. This one is sorry. I'm trying not to get the reflection.
What's it called? That one? Breaking through.
through.
Right. Got it. Nice.
So both of these are starting at $20. Pieces.
So Chelsea, you put your art in your house. Have you started to expand it out in other areas of your house?
Oh, it's everywhere, and it's piled in bedrooms, and
Yeah.
everybody is getting some for Christmas. So I hope no one I know is watching these feeds.
I gave paintings out last year.
Yeah,
It's
or
everywhere.
if they're watching, then maybe they're thinking of the ones they want. So-
Right? It was funny because last time my sister came over, we do this thing in our family called Trash or Treasure, where instead of buying each other gifts, you have to bring something from your house. And that's what you put into the gift exchange. And I could see her like walking around my house. And I'm like, what is she pausing at? Because we have very different taste in art. So it would be funny to see, where her eyes land and stick. Or either that, or she was looking for one that she had seen before and didn't see, because I also change my art up a lot. So she might be like, wait a minute, where'd that piece go?
At work, we do a Yankee swap, which is more like pick a gift and unwrap it, and then you can steal from the other gifts that have already been unwrapped if you're the right type of thing. So I've often thought about that too, putting a piece of art in. And
see, that's what Trash or Treasure is. It's just you cannot buy it. You have to bring something from your house. So sometimes you put together like a funny curated box of things, or craft supplies that you don't use anymore, or it can be art. It can be anything as long as you don't purchase it. It comes from your house.
Right. That's a good idea. We all have lots of things in our house that can
That's not a Rich and Jess game because there's no room for anything in our house.
I know. It's funny because that's how my mom has gotten rid of some of the stuff that she doesn't want anymore for us. When we go see her in the summer, we're like, oh, that would be a great treasure gift, Mom.
Oh, those are so
I'm starting to run out of space on my walls, or I have to think about what goes on my walls.
Can I talk to the people?
Yeah, me
Oh,
too.
Ryan's
Some
here.
of my favorite pieces.
Ooh,
Hey, Ryan.
Hi, that
Oh
felt
my
really
goodness.
nice to get high. I had a bad
Hey.
day. So I
Oh,
got,
I'm
no.
sorry,
I
sweetie.
didn't get the job I wanted. It sucked.
Oh,
It's okay,
we're
because
not allowed to
others will do
swear because we're online, but I'm swearing in my head for you.
Good, I'm glad. And I'm glad that you're at home sick. And that sounds bad. What I'm trying to say is I'm glad you stayed home, but it
Yeah.
sucks that you couldn't come. You know?
I know.
Okay.
I'm
glad you're on-
convinced it's allergies, but I don't want to be around
Yeah.
people just in case.
So this is a
Absolutely.
donut. And this is an ice cream. And I have no pieces up for auction tonight, but I didn't get my job. So buy my
I'm
piece
sorry.
next week when I auction it off. Okay,
Okay.
bye.
Did you make the donut and the ice cream?
Oh, I did not. These are store bought. Heather gave them to me.
Well,
Good
I'm
cheer
really
you up.
sorry, and I'm giving you a virtual hug.
I can feel it. I'll hug the camera.
Okay. Really sorry, Ryan.
Sometimes
You
I know
did
it's
a
hard
great
to hear,
job.
but
I'm patting everybody's back right now.
there's something better coming down your road, Ryan.
I
Just
see-
have to
everybody keeps
think of
telling me that,
way.
so I'm gonna believe it.
Yeah.
Okay, love you, bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to go with that because it's true.
It is true.
Sometimes the thing we want, we don't realize something else is better, and it will come.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Look, do you know the hard ones that have glass covering?
Ooh. Birdhouses?
Yeah, by Sandra.
Come on, Chelsea, it's birdhouses. Let's bid.
Those are pretty.
They're so cute.
They're cute.
So this is watercolor framed by Sandra Heavens.
Mm. They're really cute.
I do love that she always frames her stuff.
I know.
I mean, I know the glass is hard because it's reflective, but it shows up pretty well.
It does. It's really. Yeah. Does it look good for home?
Yeah, it does.
Mhm. Yep. It looks like it's ready to go.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing for gifts. It makes it so easy. Like,
What's the
slap
starting
it
bid
in the
on that
gift
one?
bag and you're good to go.
Yep.
What's the starting bid on that one, Jess?
This one is opening at $40.
There you go. Affordable dollars. The opening bid, affordable dollars.
Yes.
Oh, look what Theo's working on. Theo, is that something new?
It's an old painting that I've reworked. This area here is what I reworked. It was just blue sky before, so I decided it needed a little more color. And so now I'm inking in some of the brown and orange areas.
My son.
That is lovely.
Are you all? I think we've talked about this. Are you all? Oh.
What is Rich working on? Jess listening to music in her
He's always
underpants.
doing
Oh,
something.
that's nice. That's nice. Here.
You're right. It's going to be a photography evening. Every piece almost is photography.
This one is by Sandra Heavens as well. It's just a lovely framed piece again. And this one is, what did we decide? Is that chalk pastel? And I thought it was watercolor because it's so soft. It might be on velvet. Like, you know when people do the chalk pastel on that really soft paper?
Oh, yeah.
It's like how do I show this? Do you see that texture?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it might be better with the light on than off, Jess. Maybe this is more reflective. You can see the camera. Yeah. At least you can see the colors when the light's on.
Yeah, that is the
Yeah.
color of it, like with the light on now, because it's so warm. And
Yeah,
rich.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because you couldn't see the color without the light on.
That's true, yeah. Yes, it's like this gorgeous soft texture. So this is also by Sandra Heavens. This one's called Firestorm, and this one's also starting at $40.
Mm. Very nice.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, I guess I should probably.
Being from Alberta, doesn't it remind you of Alberta?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like the beautiful skies like that. Like it could be like the idea of the firestorm is like kind of scary and ominous, but sometimes the sky just looks like
Did you
that.
say the what?
What?
Fire?
Firestorm.
Oh,
Sky.
firestorm.
It's called firestorm. So it like could be a fire, but also it could be
Or it could be a
Just
storm that starts fires.
yes, that's true.
Even twisted fires. Could it start twisted fires?
Is that a song?
Could it be the fire started, the twisted fire started?
He's thinking of something, and we're not there yet.
I really love you.
I am the fire starter.
Oh.
Twisted fire starter.
See?
Oh, that's the second line. I knew Firestarter, but I didn't get the other
You now.
words. But now I do.
See how we
Yeah.
go?
I'm learning.
Cuckoo, 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 cuckoo.
Framed. Okay, open. Oh, do. Sorry, guys.
So Chelsea, what's your other job? Because I only know you when you come to Rumble. What do you actually do when you are not at Rumble?
Well, I have two jobs. 'Cause
What do you
I'm
mean
crazy.
not Rumble?
Yeah. When I'm not at Rumble, I am a full-time fundraiser for United Way.
Oh.
And when I'm not doing that, I work part-time at an art gallery in Black Diamond called Blue Rock.
Very nice.
I have many jobs.
I feel the passions underneath both of them, and Rumble too. We're both come together with Rumble.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. I
Ooh,
used to,
look at it's like Kelly create. Oh, finally, it's the Predator.
I got
The-
stuck.
Are the
Oh.
yeah. What's the name of
It's
that
like the
head again? It's
That's Anubis.
yeah, Anubis. Thank you. Right. We've been following this for 4 weeks.
So,
Look at that.
he is amazing.
Dreads and
Yes.
everything. Look at that.
so,
Mask is fun.
so this is Anubis, the winged one, version 2.0. Uses the eye of Ra to see all. Anubis borrowed Horus's wings to get around.
Nice. Yeah, I horse
wow.
on the mask. Isn't that cool?
And is
Nice
that a
job, Kelly.
He has a staff as well.
It's coming here.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
cool.
Oh, it lighted up too.
He is very cool. Ashley, you should come see this guy. Quick.
Hi, Ash.
Hello. No, look at
Look
him.
at that. It's a bear with a
Wings.
Anubis mask. Wings. And
He
he's
is
got
so
dreads
cool.
like the Predator
Dreads.
dreads. Cool.
It's very cool. Very, very cool. They're
Open.
cool.
$100 to open.
$100.
That seems highly reasonable, Kelly. That's a
It
lot of work. A lot of work you put into this.
He also glows in the dark as well. So his ears and his everything that's gold is glow in the dark. You can't see it.
Cool.
What's the back look like,
Can I
Jess?
show it?
Yeah.
Can you see?
Good. Yeah.
How do I do it? There. Ashley is working on this guy.
Oh,
He, she, they are, it is going to be on a pillow.
cute.
Little button eyes and a little heart nose.
Oh,
They also made a raccoon cake today at school.
Wow.
Very
That's-
cool.
that's nice.
It
There
is.
should be more raccoon cakes.
There should be way more raccoon cakes in the world.
Maybe there should
I
be-
didn't get any because they ate it all at school.
Is that a cake made out of raccoons?
No, I think I'd get in trouble for that.
Is it a cake for raccoons to eat?
No, it's a cake for children, made by children in the shape of a raccoon, decorated as a raccoon. I will say though, hunting for raccoon Christmas gifts online,
Raccoon
Oh,
hunting.
well, that happens when you type in like raccoon sweatshirt. You get like sweatshirts with raccoon fur. I'm like, oh no, that's not what I wanted.
That's what I want is a sweatshirt with some dumpster fur on it.
Right? It comes up a lot. I'm like, I don't think that would work.
Okay.
Do you know we have raccoons in Calgary now?
Now,
Really?
Now
know
there's
they're
one
all
at my
over
sister's
Ontario.
house. She took a picture of it in her garbage can. She
They're a
lives in
different
Singapore.
kind of pest.
They're really cute, but they're really bad.
Exactly. They're deceptively cute.
They
but
are. They're
bad.
way cuter than
I wonder if
squirrels.
we ever made like coats out of gophers, actually. Or maybe somewhere else in the world where they wear gopher coats. Oh, there's really fancy.
We call them sable.
Yeah.
Ooh, is this Moraine Lake? It's
or Lake Louise. I'm not sure.
yeah.
I
It looks
think,
It
like
could be Lake Louise.
I think Stephen
What about
put
Lake
up,
Labesh?
I think he put,
exactly like La Biche we used to call it.
so this is Oil on Canvas by Stephen Strain.
Huh.
Michelle, have you ever been to Moose Lake?
Absolutely.
That's
That's
a-
where our school used to take us in grade 9 for our year-end party. They would haul everybody up to Moose Lake.
That sounds really scary.
My family used to have a log cabin on Moose Lake, built over the water.
Nice. I know, this is a lakeland. There's over 100 lakes in northern Alberta in that area. If we worry about running out of water, we can just move up that area, and you'd be laughing.
Same as northern Saskatchewan. Their lakes are beautiful up there.
Yeah, and there's lots of fish, lots of nature.
Don't tell anybody.
Well, you have to be willing to move up there. So,
Well, as BC sinks into the ocean, I think it'll become more and more of
Yeah.
a summer.
well, fortunately, the Rockies will be there to block all the garbage that would come from when they fall into the ocean. It washes back, right? So they'll just smack into the Rocky Mountains and eventually settle down. And then all the backwash will wash towards Calgary.
I always
That actually sounds a lot like Calgary.
I
I
always
was gonna say, are you talking about like actual garbage or the people, Michelle?
All of it.
It's funny though because
This is the feng shui of east-west energy.
Feng shui.
Yeah, I'll tell you the story later.
Serious backwash.
Yeah,
a serious backwash.
that's right.
Serious backwash.
And after California will be Nevada, so then that's the other story.
So I always figured that Calgary wouldn't flood because we have the Rocky Mountains to barrier us from the ocean. But it didn't occur to me that the mountains might flood, until this
until this recent rain, or what do they call it? Some kind of, what do they call it? Atmospheric
river.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Well, when you burn down all the trees that stop all the landslides
That's
and
right.
all the water.
And it's got to go somewhere.
It's like living science class.
Right? And yet people are
Erosion 101.
surprised. Grown adults are going, what happened? I don't understand.
First, everything burned down, and then it rained.
David Suzuki's tearing his hair out thinking he's been telling us for like
I've been
45
right?
years.
been
Poor
telling
guy.
you for so long. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Ooh, that's cool.
By Brad Lynch.
That is super pretty.
Yeah, he's a really interesting artist.
Is Brad one of Steven's students,
Yeah.
right?
He is. Yeah, this is like the third piece, I think. Third or fourth piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love
Yeah, the colors of the
color.
yeah. It's almost like the classic art style.
Almost like a Turner or something like that with that really actually the sun on the topic of apocalypse, when the fires were going on, the sun would be this like orange.
Yeah,
Mhm.
totally.
Yeah. The ash in the air and all that stuff.
Or how
So what's in the water there? There's reflection, and then what's that thing to the left?
I think they're
A
both.
person in a boat?
Yeah. So this is called Waterloo Bridge Revisited.
Mm. And then something up top.
Either
It almost looks like what's that? When you fold a picture in half and you open it up, and it's like a reflection of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to show you the really nice. I like the oranges and the blues in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you can see it.
It's really pretty.
So this is acrylic on canvas, opening $30. All right.
Michelle, you know what we were talking about the other day, speaking of the apocalypse? Whatever happened to acid rain? Do you remember
You
acid
know,
rain in
yes.
the 90s?
When I was in school, we had a really cool biology teacher, and he was telling us about acid rain. And he talked about how it would fall and land on your face, and then you would scratch your face because it was kind of itchy because of the acid rain, right?
And we were
I
talking
know
about,
this is his
but how it was like eroding all the marble statues
limestone. Yeah,
in Europe and
absolutely.
the
Yeah.
limestone and everything.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we looked it
Yeah.
up, and it just kind of like they don't talk about it anymore.
Rich
Yeah,
says
well,
he has the answer to it.
What happened?
Well, there's a list of things that the world healed. One of them being the ozone, and the other being acid rain.
did
that-
the world heal the ozone? Its own
Was
ozone?
it because of COVID?
And no,
Oh.
because we stopped using certain products.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh, fascinating. Because we watched the If You Love This Planet, of course, this NFB documentary, right? Which was basically all about that type of thing, too.
These are
It was our version of the nuclear war, right? There was the nuclear war, acid rain. It was kind of that feeling of the world was going to end, right? The impending end of the world.
See who it is and talk about it?
And HIV, of course. So there were all of these things that were hitting us as, high school students. Well, for me anyway, high school students at that time. And you were just like, wow.
Okay.
I know, right?
Yep. Yeah. But now we have like climate change, right? We have basically the earth is flushing its own toilet every
you good?
2 years.
You're good. You don't
You're
have
good? I'll be right back. You guys are good.
Yeah, for sure. Right?
Talking about
Like-
super upbeat subjects like climate change and acid rain.
to in a good mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at, but we survived it. It's just
Yeah.
now there's this, I know there's a lot of initiatives happening to environmental stuff to try to kind of like reverse the trend, right?
Yeah.
But I always think the earth is a living, breathing organism, and she will cleanse herself in whatever way she has to. And it's just part of the process.
Totally.
So we're just sitting on the top. It's kind of like washing your face.
Yeah.
You have these oil and pimples and stuff like that. Sometimes I think Mother Earth goes like, "Oh my God, look at this breakout! I gotta wash my face." Floods, fires, right?
Totally.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
sometimes I think it's just that, and then we're just hanging on for dear mercy because we're just on the surface,
Good. How are you?
right? As she's like, "Now I'm gonna do this face wash, then I'm gonna do this."
Well,
She's doing
the things was
special
about
chemical stuff, and she's
I know.
freezing your
Exfoliate the
face.
spot a little bit.
Yeah, she decided to exfoliate.
I just want
Totally. That's a fascinating way to look at it.
to transpire the idea of
Yeah.
music tonight.
And when you think of the Earth as millions of years old, if one ever thinks that way,
you have on your mind.
yeah,
Oh,
I
we're
think
just
it's
a blip. I think
Oh,
we
absolutely,
be around
right?
far after. I mean,
yeah,
No,
like
we're just-
and everything gets pushed off the surface and gets buried, and everything gets restarted. So when people are talking about going from the analog world or like hieroglyphics, I don't even know how we figured them out. But obviously, there was a civilization in which that was the writing.
Yeah.
Is the thing about digital to me is like once that's gone, everything that's been digitized is gone. The internet, all the information that's on it, electricity, like all that, it just disappears. So the only thing that's left is basically our buried garbage.
yeah.
So it would be whatever we've put into landfills and stuff that someone's going to dig out in, 1,000 years or something.
Right. Fill
Yeah.
our plastic furniture and that's it.
Exactly, right? Like I always used to tease people. Well, don't get your partner like a diamond ring. Get her a plastic ring because it'll last 1,000 years, right? Like
Right.
it's forever. Like literally, if you give plastic jewelry, it's forever.
It's forever. It's
Kind of
forever.
compromise.
I
Yeah.
read an article once about how like cave paintings, weren't necessarily the best they could do. They were simply stylized. Like that was the style of the time that was done, not because that was the end of their ability. It was just the way that you did it, right? Like, so that was a really interesting concept to think that, oh, they could have done more than that potentially. They just chose not to, right?
Yeah.
It was interesting.
What I think
Or
wins
you
out.
think it floods and how everything gets washed away, right? You've got these images of these cars and trucks and buildings and all this stuff just kind of sweeping by, right? And going to wherever.
There's a tendency to spend a lot of
Yeah,
time.
you gotta have to wonder what parts of civilization are actually going to be left over when that happens, and then how it's going to sort of start up again,
But
like as it always does and as it always has. That's the thing. So, I'm sure the Rocky Mountains will still be there long after we're gone.
Don't you think there'll be way bigger, better ones though? They will be like that. Meh.
Questions of like
I
why.
think it depends how they erode, right? I mean,
Exactly.
maybe it's just like Easter Island. I didn't know as a kid when they would show those heads that there were full bodies underneath.
I know.
And that no one ever bothered to do a scan to see that actually they're 10 times deeper than the head that you're seeing.
Yeah.
And there's a whole body underneath with the shape and everything. And you're just like, you know, there's so much to learn. Like
by graduation,
the Bermuda Triangle, what happened with that? You know,
I
It's
know.
supposed to be, every time you went in there, it was supposed to disappear. Or something.
It was a
Come
huge
back
issue.
younger.
Same as quicksand. I
Yeah,
was sure I was going
quicksand,
to die from
exactly.
quicksand.
That's right. If you
Quicksand or
stepped
the
into
Bermuda
it.
Triangle. Those were major issues when I
Yeah,
was
I know. Or UFOs, right? They're still hanging around. But you ask kids that, they don't even care. And I'm like, what?
No.
You
They're like,
know,
what do you mean
Bermuda
quicksand? You just, nah.
Yeah,
Like, no,
yeah.
you will die.
They're just like, if I can't get onto, I have no Wi-Fi. Like that's the end of the world for them. I can't watch YouTube. What am I gonna do?
Not great.
Right?
Like, well, maybe read a book if there's a book in the house.
We need to talk.
If it hasn't all been given away. Yeah, I still have things like I have a DVD player, I have a VHS player. I don't have a record player, and I don't have an 8-track, but I have a cassette player and cassettes. So I still have, you know, my Walkman. I still have things like that because I'm like, one day you're not going to be able to go on the internet to listen to music. It just
Right.
won't be there.
I have a
You can have-
record player and I have all of my parents' albums.
There you go.
They're not,
Right?
it's not hooked up though. It's not hooked up.
I have 2 phones. I have 2 of the old phones with the dial,
rotary
like
dial?
the rotary.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. A teacher wanted to borrow them so she could show them to her class and ask them how they work. So she set it up, and then she asked them to make it work. And they had quite a fun time trying to figure it out. They
I
couldn't.
imagine.
Yeah, they had never seen it, and they couldn't figure it out. But if you have a phone line, you plug it in, it would work.
It was
They could phone with each other.
Even dialing would work on them still.
It's totally.
Yeah, even dialing will work. In fact, I have them in my house because, of course, I'm like, well, if the internet fails, and you know, and your phone doesn't work, you can plug it in and you can actually still dial out and get somebody. Yeah,
If you have a landline hooked up.
yeah, and I still have a landline for $10 a
Oh,
month.
I do not.
I do. I
I
still
haven't
have
had that
one.
in a long time. No, I don't have any of
That's
that
the number I give telemarketers. So they'll
Oh,
leave me
that's a good
alone.
idea.
Yeah. What's your number? I'm like, oh, it's this. Yeah, and then I never answer.
We have an awesome view.
I guess empty nest.
What is Theo
We're
working
talking
on
about-
now? Is there a
Oh,
bunch of things?
yeah, I'm ready to get those. Hello, Jess.
Hi.
Back.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
So nice. All right, and I see Viviana here too, so I think there's more. Sorry, I'll be right.
Viviana's on? Oh, no, in there. Stop by.
Everybody stopped by tonight. Holy.
Do you feel like you have FOMO?
No, I have a stuffy nose. I don't want to be around people.
And then some Slickers.
And I have a crazy week coming up, so I need to get over this.
Yeah, you gotta rest. You gotta rest. You know what? Sometimes I just find just like a little cold pill and a good conk out does wonders.
Yeah. I take a lot of vitamin D and a lot of emergency.
And then here,
and
to show
a lot of orange juice.
Yeah, I used to do that. I used to do emergency.
Probiotics,
For sure.
you name it. It's happening right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally get it.
Online.
I know. I think it's really cool that Theo can revisit his art and update it or
Quick,
just give it a refresh.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
how's that working out?
Must be interesting to look at something that you did like X amount of years ago and then go back to it.
Do you talk to Liz much? Liz,
should we
More
keep
block,
the
you know
Alberta theme going?
she was
Yes.
Sure.
So Viviana just dropped
yeah.
off these
she
pieces.
just sold her
Sorry, I was taking off
skater
stickers.
truck. I thought for sure you'd snap that up.
Sorry.
Not
Okay,
your thing?
so Viviana dropped off a bunch, so I'll put 2 in.
Let's
Here we
see.
go. Oh, beautiful.
Oh no!
Oh,
I might have to bid on that. No.
I love like
I love her elevators.
But isn't that like the clouds, like the illustrated cloud, like so
Yes.
nice? Like
Do you want to pull up a chair?
And the paisley in the sky is super cool.
Yeah. I know the way she sees light. Oh, look at that! Look at the texture in the sky too.
Where's your
This
studio?
is early Viviana. You could tell that she's coming up with stuff.
That's nice moving into a new house when
That's
you're
cool.
broadcasting because you can kind of build around the
Yeah,
broad.
that one's
It's a
super
great shape too. I like the
we
shape of it.
evolved into
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
sort of a
Like
theater.
tall and thin, you know.
in a
Just
little
like the
Muppet theater.
elevators. Like, I
And
like
then
how
as
it mimics
COVID hit,
that.
Yes,
Yeah.
precisely.
most of the studio into
So that's the
theater.
first
Cool.
put in tonight. I
And
really
so
love,
that
yeah,
worked
that
out.
just the subtle silhouettes and then the beautiful colors. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that peachy tone is great.
And then this is another.
Oh, a hay bale.
Oh yeah.
On the,
Look at that nice
Lockdown
shadow
COVID as
cast
well,
from
right?
the. Oh, that's really lovely.
we were in that corner.
I am a sucker for those hay bales.
Yeah. You
It
grew up
makes
with that,
me
right?
so happy to see them because it's like,
Yeah.
look at all of our hard work.
Yeah.
Neatly packaged into this little perfect.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Swiss roll, Alberta Swiss roll.
Yeah.
Like it's funny about this.
Makes my OCD brain very happy.
Literally,
Because it's chaos, it's straw, it's insanity, and they
Yes.
packaged it into this perfect
I
little
know.
roll.
You know, I talked to a farmer and I asked her what she thought was the greatest invention of her time, right? Because people ask that. For us, of course, it's the computer. I didn't see one in school until I was like 17. But you know what she said to me? She said the combine.
this one.
Yeah.
Because we used to go out, have to, cut it down by hand and all this stuff. And then this machine came along called combine, and it would just drive by, and she just was amazed.
Look at
Absolutely
this.
amazed. Oh my gosh, look at this.
Right?
Sorry. Oh, sorry. I got distracted. Sorry.
It's a beautifully framed
Maybe I
piece
just have to
by
have-
Rich.
I haven't put up Viviana's
Coming up.
pieces yet. I just, coming up. 1 second. I'm gonna
Coming
do
up.
this first.
Anyway, what do you think is your greatest like modern invention in your time?
It actually hurt. Like it actually hurt. So
I would say probably the computer too.
I like that. I'm just gonna
Just because, like, I remember our science teacher in grade 7, I think, coming to the school and telling us about this, or the internet, this super highway. And we were just like, what are you even talking about? And she was like, and you take, there's these search engines called Archie and Veronica, and you tell them what you want, and they run out on the super highway and find the information for you and bring it back. And we were like,
Wow.
what? That doesn't make sense at all. Like, she was just blowing our little minds.
Wow,
And,
that was really, really. What year was that you were hearing this?
it would have been the early 90s, 91, I think.
Okay, yeah, because 96 or 97 was when the internet dial-up stuff started happening, right?
Yeah, because I graduated high school in 96, and we took up until like junior high and high school, we took typing on old typewriters. And I do remember in grade 11, we switched over to computers, and I was the first class, English class, that was allowed to write our essays, our departmentals on the computer.
Right.
And then we had to print them off and hand them to our teacher that way. We didn't email them in or anything, but we were allowed to type them on the computer.
Well, I'll tell you that in my office, I have a PowerBook 100, a Mac PowerBook 100, and it still works. I just have to plug it in. Well, I graduated in 1983, so a little bit earlier than you, for sure. Yeah, our stuff was still around, like I said, the Reagan era, HIV, all that kind of stuff. Like it's amazing to me. It amazes me today that kids don't know about HIV when it was such a deadly thing, kind of like COVID is today, right? Like it was that thing that people didn't know what caused it. They didn't know how it was affecting them. There was like this hysteria and like
I
you
remember
didn't
it.
know how you would get
So
it, all
free
that stuff.
to treat them and to treat people, and like now you can take PrEP and just not get it, and you're good.
Exactly.
Or if you get it,
Exactly.
they cure it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a treatment. Beautiful. Jess, let's see. Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Beautiful.
This is that scene in
This
the
is
movie with,
the first elephant that he did this weekend.
Donald
It's
Sutherland.
a framed,
where the
it's
trick
a
is to
black
stop, right? So I'm
gesso,
working on a painting. I should stop
untinted gesso
And if I do,
on
then I
paper
start my next
frame.
painting at this level, and I curve up, and I should stop here.
He's lovely.
And if I do a good job of that, I start my
Awesome.
next painting, I should stop here.
It's
And then
really
I get
like
to be about
peaceful and
here
calm.
in 10 years, right? But what I like to do is I should
And then,
stop here, but I go up here and down
And then
here,
you
up here,
saw,
and
I
usually
have to
end
put it up on
kind of around there.
Facebook because I can't really
And then
hold it.
go
I
on.
mean, up on the event page.
So I
The
purposely screw up
the
every
big one
painting
he did is a
and
4
learn
by
one every
5
time and
foot
end up in 10 years higher
elephant
than
king.
It's 4 by 5 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. Beautiful.
You just have to like build on another like back part of your house and not for your landlord, and then
Yeah, like what inspires Rich to do his larger pieces? Like, is it because it's just larger and he can just play with it more?
there's
Yeah,
a
well, what I
lot. So like,
is if I take it past
so
goods
first of
and
all,
it falls,
it's like what we
I
have
a
around.
benchmark or
So we
whatever.
bought a bunch of really great like canvases from a friend of ours who's moving and downsizing. So we bought these really great pieces for us to work on, which is like really great and really free. Because I remember talking about that. Like, so there's different kinds of people that paint, and the ability to have great canvases and just like and play with them is this really this privilege that not a lot of people have. So we finally were at this point where I was like, there's these, a friend of ours was moving and they offered up these great canvases, and I was like, this is that moment that you're talking about, the one that you don't have to like be taking apart tables to be painting on. I was like, like this kind of like a Christmas gift to ourselves is like we bought these beautiful canvases to like play with, like to have just like because really like what I mean, like am I making sense? Like people like struggling to like have like a piece of cardboard to paint on or whatever, like as soon as you have enough to actually like buy a beautiful canvas and just to explore and like you said, like push against, it's like that's a huge thing because and then you're not worried about what you're painting on. Like I said, like we took apart tables here and he just paints on everything, and if something's sitting here for too long, he paints on it because he needs to paint, right? And so, but another thing is like I think you said it, Michelle, is like that like push, because he can finish a piece so quickly, and if it's like a little bigger, it offers a little bit more of a physical like challenge, like because. Right, like that, like physical challenge of like moving it around, like having space to put on the floor. Like when it's bigger, like I remember he did the 10. What is it? 10, no, what's that one movie, Michelle?
Well, yeah, the Tank Girl, right? Like the piece I have of you of the tank. Tank Girl.
And then I'm also thinking of, do you know the movie of the woman stepping over the interstate? 50,000 foot? No.
Oh yeah, the 50-foot.
50-foot woman? Is it 50-foot woman? So he did a huge piece where it didn't even fit on the floor, so we had to jimmy it kind of up on the ladder so it could go at an angle in this place. So it was like 2 6-foot canvases, I think. So it was like 12 foot by maybe 12 foot by 5 foot. And so they were
like jimmied, like kind of like screwed together, jimmied up on the ladder, and he was like kind of crawling up on the ladder beside it, so he could kind of like be like really like, so it's like that physical like push. So when it's bigger, it's like a little bit more of like fun for him to like play. But then like no one has walls this big, so it's like a little hard. Our friend has bought that piece, and she has them side by side, and it's just like gigantic Jessica.
And it's interesting because
Yeah.
2 walls of her house, because it's like my legs and then my head.
Well, it's just like when he's using that big piece of charcoal that he's been painting or drawing a lot with, right? I can see how much he's enjoying himself. It's almost like being a kid. When a little kid is holding something in their hands that it seems like really huge. Sometimes I think of that when I see Rich using something big like that. It's like he's a kid, you know?
It's so
a big,
cute. I was thinking, because you see these beautiful photos of Matisse in his studio, it's just like from really far away, like this huge, like long stick of like it was kind of like a stick, but also like charcoal at the end. I'm not sure if the whole thing was charcoal, but just standing from like a few feet away from the wall doing these huge movements. And I think like Picasso talked about that too, like that idea of trying to get back to that childlike like play of making a piece of art, because it's like one thing to push for like that hyperrealism and like you can draw like high Renaissance, but then to like get back to that childhood like perfection, really, like because kids have it, you know, like
Well, you just made me imagine like Rich on a scaffolding in the Sistine Chapel painting the ceiling, right? This massively huge ceiling, and here he is, just one little person like trying to like fill the entire canvas of that. I would love to see him do that one day somewhere in a space.
That'd be really
cool, right?
Did we ever tell you, Michelle, just the Sistine Chapel, a friend of ours that we knew like got the permission to do a beautiful documentary,
the hardest month
get like scaffolding, and they went up, him and his wife went up and like went through all of the friezes on the ceiling and like talked about all of the different things, and it was a made for TV, like PBS or something. Documentary, and we showed it. We might have even showed it on a Christmas here one night. For a movie night, but yeah, so they had permission to do that, and then we know the kids, just like over correspondence, we met through him. They were like playing in the pews of the chapel while they were doing the filming of this documentary.
Yeah. No, I think it would be an incredible experience. Or even seeing Rich paint a mural in town, you know, like on the side of the building. Like a really big building.
A mural before?
No, it's interesting. Like that's a whole other conversation too. Like his like the idea of making murals and the idea of painting pieces to go inside a space, and
it's tricky though, because there's like a whole maybe I'm misspeaking, but I feel like Rich paints in the moment more than anybody I know, and murals and pieces like that, there's a whole, you have to plan it ahead of time, and then you have to submit it, and then you have to go back and paint what you said you were going to. And
it's not so much that I paint in the moment as I'm not submissive.
Yes, you said the word, Chelsea. Like
I know, and I knew I was poking the bear when I said it.
Yeah, but you said it exactly right. Like that's exactly it. Is like that to do that proposal and to do that work. It's like not in our inclusionist manifesto.
Well, and I feel it would,
because what you
would
should
lose
do
some
is
of its richness.
You should hire an artist and provide them a space and say, go at it, right?
Yeah.
And then when you get a tattoo, you go into that tattoo artist and say, I kind of have this idea, and you let them do their work, right? Like, don't photocopy Calvin peeing on a, Chevy logo.
Some people do, but some people don't.
Although it does sell sometimes.
I'll go back in. I don't know who's there.
But you could paint Calvin peeing on
We've been up here before.
We have a friend saying
a political named.
The camera's just there,
right?
Image.
Hey, you're there!
Hello.
Hi!
Hey, came to say hello.
Big hugs. I miss you.
I don't know who's talking to me.
Do you
I
see
am Chelsea.
their faces?
Put your glasses on, you crazy.
I know. It's the mask and the glasses. It's too much. Hello, I see you all. How many people are online tonight? Like,
Lots
Is there anybody in the waiting room?
Nice. I've never been up here. It's good lighting.
It is.
Anyway, it's cool. Up here. I'm gonna go now.
Yay!
Bye. Oh, so that's Willow?
That's Marlo. Murphy, stop.
I feel more comfortable behind the chain.
It happens.
Okay, so I
Some
got
behind,
the
some in front.
We're gonna put you on door patrol tonight.
This is going to be a very interesting anniversary rumble.
Did you get my message?
I know. Right, I forgot it was an anniversary.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel like so bad. Like you know when you're like,
yeah,
you all know because Michelle, like you said last week too. It's like there's so much going on that I'm like, oh yeah, there's that. It's like 7 years, but I feel bad like I haven't done anything. Like usually we get Terry to do the auction and we have
Do you have steak and stuff like that usually?
But I'm like this year. I'm like, I just want to make sure I'm there.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You ever write? I mean, 7 years is a long time. 9 years is a long time.
It's like fitting that we're just like
right. So in this case,
it's amazing. It's actually amazing. Like to be at even number, what is it, 447?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Medium.
Like,
and have you guys missed like one at all?
No, well, so I was curious this morning. I woke up and I divided 447 by 52, like 52 weeks. And
when my previous wife,
it's like 8 years.
Yeah, so that's 8 years. So 8.5 years, which is so we're saying it's been 9.5 years since we started because there's that gap year, I guess. Because we had a year and a half.
Because I joked about going to Red Deer.
And then we shut down
but
this
then that
night.
turned into, no, we can go to Red Deer if you want.
8 years ago.
You want to go to Red Deer?
Wow.
And we're in the car,
we had
almost
one
on
year
our way to
where we
Red Deer
didn't have
before I
a
stopped
space,
and
but we
said,
kept
does anybody actually
doing-
want to go to Red
we
Deer?
had
Because I
some
was just
events,
saying,
like, outside of
and
the
I was like,
space.
no, we're just trying to be
And
agreeable.
then
So like
just to kind of
sometimes
keep
when
the,
people are
like,
being
family together because people were
supportive
doing
of
stuff
each other,
still.
you're
We still
definitely
had
respectful
actually it's a
because
funny
it's
story.
not clear
Like
that everybody's doing
we
the best
it's not
help,
funny.
you know
We
what I
had an event for
So that's why I often will kind of
a friend of
have
ours actually passed away.
somebody sit in the middle.
And his friend
That way
put
it's
on
easier
a
to
concert,
calm people down.
a benefit concert
We
at
actually have a
the
weird spot where-
MRU. No, that's totally wrong. UFC at the Roja Center, and so the money raised went towards a music bursary in his name. So a bunch of us got together and paint together to raise money for this friend of ours who had previously, the two of them had been coming to every Wednesday. They'd go out play.
So we're just trying to be cautious,
like
of not
cricket or
ever
something or tennis,
putting people
and
on
then
the
they'd
spot.
come to Rumble or Gorilla House.
Wow.
And then yeah, so this is like how we met Darcy, and then and the music side of it because they had a concert and music because it was for a music bursary at UFC. The one woman who was part of the music end of it, she's an incredible singer and she was part of UFC. She now teaches with me at the school I met, so I just met her and she's like, "What, from Gorilla House?" And so it was really cool because I got to meet her in a completely different setting. And she's an incredible teacher, so it's like super cool. Like that's what I meant, like funny, like how things have like spun together. Because even when we didn't have a space, we were still meeting people and trying to keep things together and going. And then we started Rumble 2014 December. So we got the keys October, but it took a long time to like empty everything out because it was a CD shop, and we had to like get everything and like.
And it's been
ready.
doing this weird clicking in and out of it.
You know, when we do the 9 o'clock, it would be neat to hear some of a little of the stories.
Oh yeah, totally.
Of
That's
Rumble.
No,
Because I've only been around not that long, really, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe 2 years for the pandemic.
Yeah.
Has it been 2 years already?
It's been 2 years,
like,
Michelle.
incredible,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, like really incredible. But that's just the drop again in the whole, in the whole age of Rumble.
Actually, that's nice because Melissa went to art school with Rich, and then she was like part of our family Gorilla. She's here. She just came by tonight. She picks up some work because she has been buying work with us in the auction. But she's an artist herself. She's doing an artist in residency program right now, so it's cool. Like so, if you drop by tonight, she's here. It's really nice. So yeah, that's true that we should have some storytelling throughout the evening.
Yeah, some memories or just little bits. And of course, I get curious about the 5x7 magazine turning thing. Did you guys get that going? And
yeah, that's great.
Last week we had it here, and then for Rich's thing last night, the kids were doing that. So Rich put both of them at his school, and they were kids were bringing cans of soup and food in to get these handmade beautiful pieces by their friends to give to their family. So they're at his school right now, and the kids are just they're wrapping it up tomorrow. I guess is the last day of school, so they're wrapping that up. And the kids, he said, there's a really beautiful moment where this this young man was coming up, and he had his two cans, and
his hands were shaking.
He was just super excited to get his original piece to
his hands were shaking, like that commercial where they charged you wrong and they go run for the parking lot.
Yeah.
Just vibrating.
Start the car
with joy because he got this piece that he really wanted.
That's really sweet.
Like I could feel the resonance of him.
Aww.
Like being inside a tuba. It was like,
wow.
Fun.
It's so sweet.
That's amazing. And I saw, Rich, you put something about a reading. You're going to start a reading group or a reading club?
I bought 12 copies of The Book Thief, and the librarian ordered another 10.
Oh, that's nice.
Now, the difference with my copies is I'm giving them to the art students who want to join the book club because they can draw and write in the book.
Oh, that's good.
And then there'll be for the next group that borrow it.
That's nice.
And we're doing a reading club of The Book Thief where there's no pressure to keep up with the reading. There's no pressure to finish the book. But in January, we're just going to have lunch and eat donuts and talk about The Book Thief.
Nice.
All right. So these two are by Jacob Bay, and Jacob's joining us on the live stream. I can see him.
Different shade of black.
No, it's wet.
So this is an acrylic on canvas by Jacob Bay.
Those colors are so intense.
Yeah, is it oh, wow, that's cool.
When I got here,
Inside or outside? What is that, a building?
I think it's kind of like a perspective shot,
right?
Yeah, totally. But yeah, the movement's beautiful.
I haven't watched you paint this long, I don't think.
All right, so this one's opening at $5 by Jacob.
I know I'm supposed to say something. My training tells me the humans want to hear me say something, but I don't know what the words to put in are.
Yeah, we can just be autistic.
Jess, are people more excited to sell their pieces, or are they more excited the fact that someone's buying their pieces?
I had a huge artistic discovery this week.
It's the connection made, I think.
And
so
it was because
that's the thing that's kind of been weird is
and actually
when you're dropping off your work and then going home and seeing it, I think people still really like seeing if people are reading it online, even if everyone's separated. I think people are still watching from afar, watching the action at 9 o'clock, because I think it really is that then someone gets it, someone connected in some way to it. Because the selling part is kind of a weird feeling. For me, anyways, I'm not talking for everyone, obviously, because I don't know how people feel about the different things. But I think that the selling it is weird. But if you have made a connection or someone digs what you're doing in some way, then it's really wonderful.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I just wondered what it is, especially when some people, they obviously want a starting bid at a very reasonable price, just because they want anybody that would like a piece have a chance at it.
Yeah,
which I think is really awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's part of that inclusionism is we do have to sell, we wouldn't do money sales if we didn't have to, right? That's the weird part of that is we have to keep paying the rent so we can keep it going. But yeah, to try to keep it as inclusive as possible in terms of the sales is really good because we want to make sure that original art is for everyone, not just for some people.
Yeah, exactly. And it should be accessible by as many people as possible.
Totally. And that's a good thing about going online is that accessibility went up a lot. Yeah.
I think it's super important though for as a buyer I look around my house and like it is packed. It is packed full of original art.
Yes.
There is no like, and all living artists that I have met, right? Like that's, and I could go to other auctions and buy stuff from other people, but I want to buy it directly from the artist, right? Or from a dealer. I don't necessarily want to, like, I don't need a group of 7 painting in my house to make me feel like I've made it and I've got all the art I need, right? Like, because other people can collect that stuff. I think encouraging the artists to continue what they're doing and showing them that you can start to make a living doing this is so important. Like, I think that's huge, right?
Look at this piece.
Well, this one is nuts.
This is killer. Tell us about it, Jess.
Also by Jacob Bay. He's been working on these pieces for a while. I think he was saying this one is opening at $10. So it's a larger piece. Would I say 24 by 36? Possibly. So again, I think he's working with the cityscape. The last few pieces he's been doing have been like by the river, downtown. I'm kind of seeing like his world. So I'm kind of seeing like the foothills of the mountains.
Somebody goes, hey, did you ever notice how messed
even
up?
like the train line, like Jacob, you can even put down if you're still with us. If there's any specific
place that he's looking at.
Yeah.
And this is Calgary, right?
I'm pretty sure. And like I said, Jacob, I think, was watching with us earlier. I should have looked this up. But if you're here, Jacob, let us know what you were looking at.
The other thing is,
wicked. It's wicked.
It is really
and when you animate,
cool.
it's 24 frames a second.
Oh yeah, the piece bridge.
I was gonna ask
Right,
if it was the piece bridge.
Yeah.
To say,
Why am I such a chicken? I should have just
And
said
then the
it's
big
like the piece
building.
bridge.
Yeah. I was just wondering which bridge, but and then the big building there is that big huge one.
we look at it, we go,
I don't know what it's called, not Ancana. It's that big huge
my
one.
parents showed it to me, and
The purple building is.
now, so
That's really neat.
It is super cool.
showing it, and that.
So what's the opening bid on that one, Jess?
We probably shouldn't be looking at this.
Opening
That it really gets to be obvious.
Really cool.
It's terrific.
It is. And is it on canvas or board?
Oh, on canvas. Sorry, yeah. Stretch canvas.
I watched it
Wow.
2 times this week.
Okay.
Come on, Chelsea.
I
It
know.
did. It's so interesting. Like an abstract, but then it's a literal, right?
Yeah, then you can kind of
This other
start
guy
seeing
wants to be a
pieces.
dentist.
Yeah,
And they mock him. It's like anti-science.
that you
know?
recognize.
And then near the end, the
Yeah, I've got a few walls in my house that
that was defenseless. And then
Lot of stuff.
Cornelius needlessly chases him off a cliff. So it's like that was unnecessary.
I saw Rich's phone.
I will read the poem next week. I was going to hand out copies anyways.
Okay.
So.
Are we auctioning this? Are we reading it?
Well,
Is
it's
it-
just like for you.
yeah, because I wonder, I know someone, like I said, whose daughter does digital art. Like, I guess she could output it in something and then offer it up. Digital art's just different, you know. You see these like sports cards that are going digital. All this stuff is going into these digital realms.
You want
It's
it.
very
I'm not.
new.
It's interesting, actually. Oh, Damien, I don't think I'm not doing numbers today, Damien. I'm so sorry. That is the larger of Jacob Bay's. We can. Oh, of course you could.
Oh yeah.
No, it's not interrupting at all, Mel, because I was just gonna put up the piece, and this is a perfect time. So Mel's here, and actually we were showing these are the beautiful photos behind us, and so Mel is here actually. So we're gonna pause, and I'm gonna give you space. Here, and I can get out of your way actually, so you can take off your mask if you want. Everybody, welcome Mel. It does.
Hi, Mel.
Hello.
Hi,
Those
friend.
are some great
Hey.
sparkles.
I did not
I
make
like
that, but I got it on sale.
all that matters.
This piece, there's a long story behind it, which I will spare you all for now. But some wonderful folks were here last week, and I said I would read this piece. And there's 2 copies I'm going to give away because I printed out a bunch unknowingly because my stupid printer wasn't working, and it turned it off and turned it on again. It printed out 7 of them. So I didn't intend on giving them out, but the universe did not work that way.
Your printer clearly wanted you to give them out.
It did. Thank you. It's called Patterns Repeating. We are fractals, patterns repeating over and over again, increasing in complexity, fluctuating between devastation and beauty, until what's left is you and me, at this bar, in this pub or gallery, in this room of our own, or whatever location suits your fantasy, of the star-crossed lovers, the forbidden fruit, the one-night stand, the last chance, the only chance, the dull ache that never heals, the pulsating bruise from an ancient wounded place, the longing for a desire that consumes us fully, and we are left in the aftermath or glow. This is supposed to be poetry, you know. 2 bodies or 3 or more, intertwined, interlocked, unlocking the divine, the divinity, something greater than ourselves. You know, this could be our moment, right here, right now, to right the past, to right a wrong, to do something just for once, something revolutionary, kind of scary, isn't it? But for this moment, right now, right or wrong, our bodies are interlocked, you, me, and this song. Thank you, friend.
So good.
Thank you. I just took out my braids, so getting to see raw me.
It's beautiful. Did you want to talk about your beautiful photography as well?
Wow. I have so many talents, friends. So there's a story behind everything. So these are for auction, these pieces here. You can actually be like, you're placing it perfect because I could do this and divide those projects right in half. Cool. So this this particular print did not make the cut, unfortunately, but I thought, why not let it live again at Rumble House? So I had my work on display in the window galleries at Arts Commons. I know some of us have salty feelings about Arts Commons, and I respect that, and it's okay. But it was the first time my art was publicly exhibited, and we put these up. Not this one, but the rest are here. I can show them. But I have to make sure my long-suffering husband isn't waiting outside because he's waited on me a long time in our marriage. So the prints were put up March 2020, and of course, we all know what happened. And so these poor prints just sat in the darkness in Arts Commons, and then they sat in my closet in the in our apartment. And I happened to be longboarding one night, and this person, and I was like, okay, they're coming up pretty fast behind me. So I kind of like moved to the side so that they could go past. And they kind of like stopped, and she was like, oh, I don't really see like other chicks skateboarding or longboarding. She's like, this is really cool. And she's like, you want to race? And I was thinking, I'm old, and right now I longboard for leisure, not for racing. And so, Julie, if you're watching, how old is she?
Was she like a teenager or
24? 24. So we talked, and it turns out she's a photographer, and so we went out taking pictures one afternoon, and I showed her some of my work, and she saw this, like she saw the image. So this is like a reprint. This one here, my head's right in the way. Anyways, she got the full size one. She looked at it, she loved it, and I was like, well, instead of it just sitting like in a closet, like this human being should have it. And I thought, whoa. And then I start coming to Rumble House again because I haven't been in a few years. And I was like, whoa, I have art that I could actually sell. I was going to like make new stuff. And I was like, actually, I have several prints that are just sitting lonely in our apartment. So that's why they're here. So I didn't finish that story. This was one series called When the Rainbow Is Enough. It was about the mental health of Black, Indigenous, and people of color. So that's where those come in, and I got to interview quite a few people for it, but only 10 pictures could make the cut because you don't realize until you have to display something that you can't actually display everything. And it looked crowded to try and like get all of the images in there. So I picked 5 that I felt were the most powerful. Unfortunately, that one did not make the cut, but there are others are here tonight that are traveling with me. But this one is for sale, and then there's the smaller prints. And so this one here, these ones here, same person, by the way. I'm gonna can I throw some shade? Is that appropriate? Okay.
Just not at me or Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh no. So
actually, you can if you need to.
No. So this one here, this image is in Chatelaine magazine. So this wonderful human was interviewed for like these like amazing Black community leaders, and she asked me, "Can I use the picture that you took of me 3 years ago?" And I was like, "Absolutely, go for it." And so this image is in Chatelaine magazine, and those beeping beeps didn't credit us, and they didn't pay us to have our work in that magazine. So suck it, Chatelaine magazine.
Yeah.
And so this is available for sale.
That's so not okay.
Because they didn't pay us. They only credited like 2 photographers. I'm guessing that's the people that they knew, and the rest of us are chopped liver. So yeah, that's why I was like, I should put that one in there. So that's the same person. The first photograph I sold was a foam core, so mounted on foam core. This one, 15 by 16, so about roughly just a little bit smaller than this. So that one sold first. I was kind of bummed out because I wanted it. I was like, damn it, this is like a good problem to have though. So these are reprints. These 2 are from a photo series on Black womanhood. And that photo series was an exhibit that I put on by myself. It's my first exhibit, and I put it on myself. And that was insane because it was a month after I got married. So don't try that at home, kids. I've told my husband if we ever divorce, I'm never getting married again. So just putting that out there in the universe. Marriages are stressful, and the wedding part is the fucking worst. So there are many more of these available in the universe. So this was another photo project, and it's funny because a friend of mine, I was showing her the prints, and she's like, she thought I was showing her somebody else's stuff, and she's like, wait a minute, are these your photos? And I was like, yeah, they're my photos. She's like, you're a photographer? And I said, well, yeah, but I look at it this way. When you are a multidisciplinary artist, sometimes when you are successful at stuff, it ends up being like, oh, I'm doing this for work, or I'm doing this for a project, and it's taken some of the joy away. So photography is more for me, and I have never stopped taking pictures, never stopped training my eye, but I'm not just gonna like be like, I'm a photographer, everyone. That's more of a practice for me. And so this is part of that process. Thank you, friends. I'm gonna check on my long-suffering spouse who may be waiting for me outside. And I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate the house so much. So I'll give a little Korean heart. Okay.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing.
Oh shit.
The little
Can I
one.
say something about Star-Crossed Lovers?
Yes, please.
So, Jess and I just for fun, we walkie-talkie each other.
Okay, this is for you guys.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
And
I think Rich is playing with the black light and his piece back there.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
Her radio name.
Well, that was real. I love it when artists talk about their art and their process. It's
Yeah,
like the best part of this prep time actually is learning about people's pieces and what moves them.
So when we
For me
texted
too.
you,
I love it. That was perfect.
Tango, do you,
I think
You
we
need a
talked
break,
about this
Justin. We'll come
before.
back, or
They're walkie-talkie.
Juliet Tango here. What's your 1020?
I have eyes on the table.
I have to learn the
You
radio.
have to say 10-4, Big Mama. That's
yeah,
a
the secret language. 10-4,
10-4,
Rubber
Big
Ducky.
Mama.
Oh yeah. 10-3, Big Daddy-O.
Oh my God, yes.
Copy that, star-crossed lover.
Because his name is R, and so he's Romeo, and my first name is Jessica, and it's Juliet. Isn't that funny? I think that's cute.
If it helps, we're MJ.
Oh, that's so
I
nice.
mean, kind of, but you know, like people have feelings about Michael Jackson. I understand that too. I truly do.
I love two Michael Jacksons.
Oh, sorry. Should I get out of the way?
Yeah, I need to document this stuff.
Yeah.
I never do, and then I'm like, oh shit, I don't have any footage and stuff.
Yeah.
Come look at my painting.
Oh, I'm coming here.
Okay, boom.
It's good. Okay, I'm gonna go look at Rich's painting.
It's good.
It's really. Oh, it's
From
good.
far away. It's the way that your 1 foot is on your toes.
I know.
That 1 foot is
So nice.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
We saw on the topic of star-crossed lovers, we also went to see West Side Story on Sunday, and that was really beautiful.
Was it so good?
Oh my God, it was so good.
There's never movies I want to see, and there's so many right now that I want to see.
No, there's only one movie you need to see.
There's only one.
It's called West Side Story.
Oh, nice. Francis is here now too. Maybe he can talk, or maybe we can talk about. It's 7. Oh, it's 8:39. That's good.
Somebody needs to walk around and tell the people they have 20 minutes until
Oh, good.
the auction starts.
I'll just yell at them. We have about 20 minutes till the auction starts.
And
then this is the time where we usually take a break while everything gets sort of reset.
This is the time that I walk around and say, you don't have to go home. You just can't stay here. You got to move so we can set up the auction.
Look at this piece.
Oh,
Wow.
that's a David. I can see his signature in the bottom.
That's right. Where is it? Is a bridge there? Is this from Calgary? You know how he likes to draw to do landscapes?
This is Eau Claire. So do you see? I think that's the bridge. Or is that the bridge that they're fixing? Because that's the fountain, and that might be the bridge that they're fixing at Eau Claire. David, is this from Eau Claire? Yes, that is Princess Island Park. Yeah, Princess Island.
That's what I thought.
Huh.
I need to spend more time walking around down there.
Yeah.
Not right now. It's minus 25.
Oh, yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah, exactly. In the spring. That's the best time. Wow, that's really cool.
Oil and panel.
Yeah, it's super
He
pretty.
just pumps them out. Look at that. So talented.
I just got brand new.
So beautiful.
And they have amazing.
I know. The magic of the pieces is seeing them far away, actually. When you get too close to them, they're not as nice as when they're far away.
Well, I think the fascinating thing is watching him work. Like he's come back a few weeks with pieces that he's been working on and seeing that progression of where they start to where they end. It's bananas. Yeah.
I've never seen, only seen the end product, so
it's
unless
really
different
cool
versions.
to watch. Yeah, it's really cool to watch.
Let me show you the groups on my.
Does he paint the layers like from back to front?
Yeah.
Basically?
Yeah. There was one last week that went, I think it went up last week, or maybe it's not done yet. It's a cityscape with a bridge, but it just started out with like a purple mauvey splash that was going to become the road, right? Like it's very cool. It's very cool.
Yeah.
I enjoy that process. And it's fun getting to know him too, because he's a peculiar duck and I quite enjoy him, which means I like his work more.
Yeah, I know. It's like there's these particular artists that you always see at Rumble. But it's really neat to see all the different pieces and especially David, like some of his styles, right? Like when he was doing some autobiographical imagery, That was very different than this kind of landscapey stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a few of David's pieces, and none of them are hyper realistic. I mean, I've got one of his piece bridges, but it was a piece that he was working on the color and the tone, so it's just
Is that
the
the
bridge.
floating one? Is that the floating one? Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, it's one
I
of my
remember that.
favorites. And you know what? It doesn't seem to matter who comes in here, because I obviously have some strange art, and not everybody loves my taste in art, but that everybody is drawn to that one. It doesn't matter if they like super neoclassical or what they're into, they all go to that one and like it. So it's fun.
Yeah, interesting. I have a few pieces of his too, but most of them are the realistic landscapes.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't have any of that. I have some of his maniac bubble people, the serotonin guys, whatever they were called. I can't remember.
Right.
Do you know what I'm talking about, right, Jen?
I totally do, yeah.
Oh, is this a Dusty piece?
This is by Dusty, yeah. So this is acrylic on canvas. You can see this beautiful resin and beautiful glazing. So lots of layers, texture. The background is so beautiful, and also like the suction cups are so delicious, like gumdrops. The texture of them are so beautiful, and of course her lovely blocking in the colors. So it is called 4 of 8, which I hear is a Star Trek reference. Is it 2/3 of the neurons are in?
We're here for the puppets.
Oh, fun!
I'm not even going to tell her. I'm just going to start it, and she'll be talking, and then all of a sudden, is this it? I forget what it was called.
So this is by Dusty. Opening is $50.
Yes.
Oh, where'd it go?
Got to go through the library.
Well, it's tough, Ryan, because I have to delete them, and I know you wanted me to send them to you.
Delete them?
We'll have to talk later. There we go. No, it's like I don't have enough space for them.
Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jesus Christ Superstar. Audition? What?
It's my audition.
Oh, in addition to.
My mind is clear. At last, all too well, I can see where we all soon will be. If you strip away the myth from the man, you will see where we all soon will be. Jesus! You started to believe the things they say of you. You really do believe this talk of God is true. And all the good you've done will soon be swept away. You've begun to matter more than the things you say.
I love when you go.
Listen, Jesus, I don't like what I see. All I ask is you listen to me. And remember, I've been your right hand man all along. You have set them all on fire. They think they found the new Messiah. And they'll hurt you if they find they're wrong. I remember when this whole thing began. No talk of God, then we called you a man. Believe me, my admiration for you was gone. But every word you say today is twisted round some other way. And they'll hurt you if they think you lie. Nazareth, your famous son, should have stayed a great unknown. Like his father, he'd have made good. Table chairs don't contest, would have suited Jesus best. He'd have had no body, no one alone. Listen, Jesus, do you care about your race? Don't you see we must keep in our place? We are occupied. Have you forgotten how put down we are? Fighting by the crowd. And they'll crush us if we've gone too far. If we go too far. Jesus to the warning I give. Please remember I want us to live, but it's sad to see our chances are waning with every hour. All your followers are blind, too much heaven on their minds.
You don't have to say one.
It was beautiful, but now it's sour. All gone sour. Oh, Jesus! This is all gone sour. Listen, Jesus, to the warning I give. God help me, I got time. Come on, 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 me. Won't you listen to me, Jesus?
It's so real.
Are you sitting on the chair? Are you on the floor? What are you?
Yay!
Encore.
Look, it just goes down. Oh,
I was extremely passionate performance.
You know,
That was very good.
so good.
Sometimes
The professor.
Oh,
but
Wow.
the more flaws
we
I
have
the more
10 minutes before we're going to start our auction for the 7-year anniversary. Wow, that's nice. That was a really good way to just wrap that up. So I think we're going to stop broadcasting here, and then we're going to do magic and do the auction at 9 o'clock. So come, people watching, look at the, there's 10 people. Look at the event page, look at all the beautiful pieces. We already have some bids coming in. Thank you so much. And then we are going to get the auction going at 9 o'clock. I'm repeating myself. I love you guys. That was really nice chatting with you. Thank you so much, people at home. Chelsea and Michelle and Kelly, thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Kelly.
See you at the auction.
In a little while.
Yep. We'll send out the link at 9 o'clock.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
good.
Thank you so much. See you soon.
Soon.